If this is a real set, I want it to be action. I want to hear action. Very good.
Okay, we're
Rolling, rolling, rolling. Get them doggies rolling. My legal name is Lewis, but when I was a teenager and in my younger years, most people called me Louie, which is sounds much better than Lewis. Lewis the Puis or Louis Pooey, whatever you want to do it. And then in the Army, of course, because my last name was Eisenhower, they called me Ike. And that name stuck for a long, long time. And people still don't know me by my first name, but they still know me by Ike. My wife and I, we met when she's actually a cougar, by the way. She was 18 and I was a young boy of 17 when we first met working at Howard Johnson's. She was a counter girl, and I was at that time I was a dishwasher and part-time cook. But the moment I saw her, I fell in love, and she didn't think so highly of me, but I won her over. She would probably say that my personality is taxing. No, she knows me so well that she just would refer to me. Oh, that's just Lou. But she would say that I have a very serious side that I don't often show to people. But I like to laugh. I like to have fun, and I like to enjoy life. So she would say that I'm a fun-loving guy who takes some things very seriously. Actually, a joke that I recently came up with was just yesterday. Our friend, technically, she did die for a little while, and they revived her. But I told her that when it was touch and go, that I offered the idea of naming a restroom after her, the Elena Hartrick Memorial Restroom, and please come and leave something in honor of Elena. So. But I like to laugh every day. It's very important to laugh. So I thought that was pretty funny. And now that we're talking about it, I do want to have a restroom named after me after I die.
what would you call it?
The Lou Eisenhower Memorial Restroom. Leave a number 2 in honor of Lou. It would be hard to say that there's just one hurdle that was the most difficult. I've had a couple, and one was my dad dying when I was just 14 years old. He died of complications from a couple strokes, and he went from a guy who was big like me and I mean, he died for a year and a half. So I had to watch him wither away. He weighed like a little over 100 pounds when he died, so I had to watch him die. So when I became a dad, I said, God, if you're going to give me kids, I can't die while they're still children. And then I had a stroke when I was just 41 years old, and my oldest son was still a sophomore in high school. And my stroke was actually worse than my dad's, and I should have died, but I didn't. And I had to learn to walk again, and I had to learn to control my emotions and use my left arm, which I still can't use all of it. But there was a lot of things I had to do, but it was tough. And I wanted to die. It was so bad that I wanted to die, but I had to learn to want to live again, and that's where I give God the credit. He put up with me for me whining for a couple of years until finally I saw what life really was, and then I regretted all the terrible things that I thought about God for the last 2 years, and then lo and behold, I get a granddaughter. So life is good, and life is always worth living. The worst things in your life can be the best. You just have to look. Wait, I should probably have like on a shining white coat, and so look real spiritual while I say that. But yeah, the the world's not what it appears, and it's what you make it. Really is. The most important thing in my life is my spiritual life. It's studying the Torah, studying the Tanakh and the New Covenant writings. It's far and away. It's changed my life, but it's not just studying it. You have to live it out. Otherwise, it's worthless. And it is. Just to go back to it, it's always loving your neighbor as yourself. I have lived a pretty interesting life. I've seen a lot of places, and I've had extraordinary hardship, and I've had extraordinary joy. Um, but the only thing that if anybody were to take anything at all from this is that I would like people to know that no matter how bad it gets, somebody's always got it worse. No, I learned that too. You know, when I was really sick, I was like, man, I'm glad I'm not that guy. But you know, I'd see some guy at the VA, and he'd be. I mean, I was like, yeah, I'm glad I got both my legs. You know, I might complain that they don't work, but I got them both. You know, but is that life is hard, but if you look for it to get better, it will. And no matter what, when there's life, there's hope. You know, I had to learn that the hard way, but when there's life, there's hope. And yeah, you have to look for it. I mean, sometimes they'll jump in your lap, but most of the times you have to look for. Sometimes you have to really look for a reason to live and a reason to be happy. You have to look for the positive. I am part of the Screen Actors Guild, so there will be a fee. I have a union. I have never lied. I have never lied.